On today's episode of Easy Reviews, we're talking about the 2013 monolith of animation that is Shingeki no Kyojin, or Attack on Titan as it's more commonly known as. It's dark, violent, tragic, energetic, and really just—
Yo, hold up. That's the wrong show.
What?
Yeah, we're not doing that one today. There's already like 861,000 videos on that.
Oh damn, alright, okay, what are we doing then?
Here's the schedule. Go ahead and take a look at it.
What is this? BARAKAMON? No, wait, BARAKAMON? Hey, what the fuck? I don't want to review this cutesy looking dumb shit. Nobody cares about this show anyway. It came out 3 fucking years ago.
Everybody betrayed me. I fed up with this world.
Barack Obama is a wonderfully charming show about taking ink and brush and applying it to paper to make fancy characters that are pleasing to the eye. What I'm trying to say is it's about calligraphy. I just tried to make the subject matter a little more interesting than it sounds, because, let's be honest, an anime about calligraphy doesn't really make me want to drop everything and go watch it. Although some of the best anime this year have been about making dictionaries, a governmental inspection agency, anthropomorphized rice, and wait a minute, that last one does not belong on the list. How did it get here? Oh, it seems my secret fetish list got mixed up with my best of 2017 so far list, and now everybody knows my secret. Whoops. Meet Seishu Honda, a young man exiled to live on a remote island after violently assaulting an elder at a calligraphy expo. Once there, he amasses a harem of little girls and keeps up his violent criminal record by adding child abuse to his list of atrocities as he pushes innocent children into the turbulent sea and attacks them with hard balls. There you go, now it sounds a little more interesting, doesn't it? If only those statements were true at all, it would make this a whole lot easier for me. Although Homeboy does straight up wreck an old dude Matrix style right in the beginning of the first episode, so Hey yo, do you like calligraphy? Do you like slice of life? What about wacky antics? What about bothersome children? What about advice from wise old Japanese people? If any of that sounded interesting to you, BARAKAMON might be right up your alley. I happen to have a soft spot for stuff like this, and spoiler alert, this show is right up my alley. In fact, I'd put it right up there in the rankings with the likes of Yatsubato. Seriously, this show will charm the hell out of you, and it did something revolutionary in the anime industry to do it. You ready for this? Instead of casting squeaky 30-year-olds to play children, they actually cast children. Amazing! Who would have thought that casting sticky snot-nosed brats to play sticky snot-nosed brats would have ever worked out? Incredible! The casting really does work wonders for this show, and even though the kids in the show generally act like little heathens, they're still pretty much the reason this show doesn't fall into the generic pile of slice-of-life mediocrity. Oh yeah, I guess there's some other characters too that have a part in this show. Seishu Honda is our main character, and if you remember what I said about him earlier, you pretty much already know how he acts initially in this series. He's a great character for a show like this, and his fish-out-of-water personality as he interacts with the island's locals is also what makes this show work. It wouldn't be nearly as interesting if it were just a show about this dude and his struggles with calligraphy, but throw in some country bumpkins and whammo, enjoyable stuff. To be honest though, it does get a little agitating every time he shuts down or makes some stupid decision, like, take that there brush, now don't get in the ink, yep, you got it. Okay, now write the fucking calligraphy, you idiot. The deadline for your competition is in like 20 minutes, you dumbass, come on! Truth be told though, Honda's a great character. He's the only one with an actual character arc in this show, but it's an arc that you can really get behind. He comes to realize that there's so much more to his art than just doing it, and that he actually has to put his heart into it to make it truly his own. The fundamentals of art can only get him so far, which is something Honda learns gradually through his new rural lifestyle. Also, I wasn't aware that calligraphy was such a big deal, and that there are expos and contests all about it. Maybe it's just a Japan thing, and us stupid Americans wouldn't get it. Yo, Easy, you've been talking for 4 paragraphs, and you haven't even told us the plot of the show yet. I know. There's a reason, I promise. There's a reason for everything in this world, including why your mom and dad kicked you out of the house. Because you masturbate to cartoon titties and waste your life shit posting on forums all day. Hey, in case you're wondering, my train of thought pretty much derailed at the station and it's probably not gonna get any better from here on out. I'm like a toddler with a microphone and video editing software, but only if you gave that toddler a triple shot of espresso that was brewed with 3 cans of Red Bull. I know you want me to shut the hell up now, but all that shit had a point. It was supposed to be similar to how a standard episode of BARAKAMON works. Like most slice of life, there's not really an overarching story, just little vignettes that span an episode or two, and it works fine. But BARAKAMON really does shift its focus from character to character a lot, but to be honest, I think it's what makes the show work a lot better. However, unlike me, BARAKAMON's really funny, and I laughed out loud several times while watching it, so maybe we're not all that similar. Speaking of characters, isn't Naru totally great? She's such a joy to watch bounce around on screen with endless energy. You don't get much character on Naru other than that she lives with her granddad and her grandma passed away. But the show just sort of sweeps that all under the rug, like, if we just put enough wacky antics in, maybe they'll forget about characterization of anyone besides the main character. Let's see what I got from BARAKAMON with all the other secondary characters. Hang on. Let's see, this one is the most regular one. This one's the big brother type. This one is that one girl. This one cries a lot. This one doesn't have hair. I'm nitpicking though, because Barakamon is sincerely hilarious, relying often on situational comedy and sight gags. A lot of Barakamon's humor relies on Naru and the island Rugrats in general, and it pretty much always hits the mark. Thank you, Barakamon, for making me want to have kids. Or was that the intention all along? The only character I actively disliked was Honda's mom. She was just really over the top in all the wrong ways. God, Honda Sr. must have resolve made of goddamn titanium in order to put up with her shit day in and day out. Barakamon's production is pretty darn good. The animation looks really great for the most part, even if it doesn't have hardly any standout cuts, and the soundtrack does its job really well. Whoa, hold up. Who was that? What was that? Kenji Kawai? As in the legend who did the music for the OG Ghost in the Shell? Huh. Special shout out to the background artist too, because that shit looks so cozy I wanted to crawl on the screen and live there. I'm aware that this review was totally unfocused, and I didn't really make a point of where I stood on the like or dislike scale, so let me tell you. I love this show, and can easily say that it's my favorite slice of life anime property probably ever. I would say Yotsubato, but the manga doesn't update enough, so Barakamon edges it out just barely. Speaking of manga, Barakamon's source material goes into detail a lot more with some of the other characters, particularly Naru, and it's just really good and will make you feel things and That being said, do I recommend you watch Barakamon? Yes.